All right, so update 1.12 in Hunt Showdown is here, and yeah, self-revive, it's back. I love it. So self-revive was very popular during the Devil's Moon event, and it added a lot of dynamics into the game for solos, but also for teams, of course. But I wouldn't say that it's OP. It's just a little bit more interesting now. Yeah, and the traits are also updated a little bit, so I think that you should change the way on how you pick your traits, especially if you play solo. So anyway, the new traits, how I think that you should pick them, or in which order you should pick them, is in the following. So first, you have to pick Necromancer if you play solo, because Necromancer is the trait that give you the ability to self-revive. So the timer now on the self-revive, I think, is 10 seconds instead of 4 that it was during the event. And yeah, they removed the bugs as well on it so that you can't self-revive if you're burned out and so on, which is good. So Necromancer you have to pick first because then you can self-revive. Then there are two traits that are also specific for solo after the update. Magpie makes that you can scan in Dark Sign twice the time that you can as a team member. So 10 seconds if you pick up the bounty and 2 extra seconds if you loot the body. And that's also a cheap trait, so that's very powerful. And then you have Serpent and you have the double the distance in the slurping mechanic then if you play as a team member. So that these three traits are specific for as if you play solo, and I think you should pick them first if you're going to play solo. By the way, so the tools and consumables that I use as a solo player are up in the right corner there. The next two trait slots I would dedicate to the loadout that you have, the specific loadout. For example, maybe you play a long ammo gun and a pistol, and you want to have fanning to be able to be more powerful close quarters, and also the long ammo trait that I never remember the name on, but I think it's Iron Sharpshooter, and then you remain in the iron sight when you shoot. So, or if you play, for example, a Winnie, then you should have definitely levering and also the same trait for Winnie when it comes to remaining in iron sights. Or you maybe play a Quartermaster loadout and maybe you want to have dualies as secondaries, and then you can have the ambidextrous to reload them quickly, and the Quartermaster loadout so you can have a fully sized gun in the first slot. Or you want to play crossbow, which I did a lot lately. You want to have bolt thrower, so you can reload the crossbow more quickly, and maybe also the Quartermaster if you want to have an Obrus mace or something like that as a secondary, which is a very powerful loadout. So yeah, the first three traits are specific for solos, and the second two traits I would pick something specific for your loadout to increase the power of that one. Then I would pick Doctor and Physician. They are more expensive now. Doctor is the most expensive trait, but still I would say it's a meta trait, and yeah, many people pick this trait first actually, but I mean, of course, Doctor and Physician are traits that helps you in an actual firefight, as well as the two previous slots that you have for a specific loadout helps you in an actual firefight, which you should pick the traits for. Then I would pick Pack Mule. Pack Mule lets you loot 2 items instead of 1, which is very good, especially in sustained fights, or if you have killed one team and are on your way to the other team, then you can loot more consumables and stuff. Then I would pick the mobility traits, Greyhound and Determination, so you can move more quickly, and maybe you can also remove the stamina shot if you take these two, if you like. Then I would pick Frontiersman. Frontiersman, so you get 1 extra medkit and extra traps, which is very good. And then I would pick Resilience. Resilience makes that you have 100 health when you revive yourself instead of just a little bit of health. So that's increased the possibility for you to actually survive a self-revive. Conduit was buffed 1 or 2 updates ago. So now you actually get, I think it's 5 minutes of stamina when you pick up a clue, which is very, very powerful. So if you have this and Greyhound, then you can leave your stamina shot behind, because if you loot 3 clues, then you have like 15 minutes of stamina, which is very good. So Conduit is good nowadays. Silent Killer is good, not for killing grunts silently, but rather if you're in a compound and you get a visit, you can charge your knife, your bayonet, or your saber silently, which is very powerful if you want to take out that special visit. Yeah, Lightfoot is also very powerful as a solo. You can move around on ladders and so on more silently, and you can also jump twice, I think, and then take a rest and then jump twice again. So you can move more silently around, which is very important as a solo. So there you have it. This is the list of traits, the order of priority, or the order in which I would pick them. The first 3 ones are solo specific. The second 2 trait slots are for the loadout. Then you have the Doctor and Physician, Pack Mule, and then you have mobility traits, Frontiersman, Resilience, and Conduit, and Silent Killer, and Lightfoot. So these are the traits that I would pick on my favorite solo hunter. When it comes to teams, I would pick the traits in a different order. Also, I would change the tools and consumables, as you see up to the right. I would have throw knife or axe and chokes instead of traps. Otherwise, the same things. As a team, you don't have the solo advantage if you choose, for example, Necromancer and Magpie. So here I would actually, as back in the days, pick Doctor and Physician first, which is very strong traits, expensive but strong. So most of the time I would pick these first, actually. Then I would take the loadout specific traits, same as for the solo loadout, depending on which loadout you pick. If you have the crossbow, you pick up the bolt thrower. If you have a Winnie, you pick up levering, and if you have a pistol and a long armor gun, or a Vetterli and a Pax, for example, you pick up Fanning and the iron sight thing. Then I would pick the mobility traits, Greyhound and Determination. It's not so important in which order you pick them, these two, but these two I would pick together most of the time. Then I would actually pick Necromancer, because Necromancer is super powerful in teams as well, and Necromancer is one of the few traits that actually, after the introduction of Necromancer, it actually changed the game a lot. And yeah, maybe even now when I look at it, I would put Necromancer before the mobility traits. So after the loadout traits, maybe I should put Necromancer there, but it doesn't matter. Necromancer is very, very strong in teams as well, and I would pick it maybe top 5 among the traits. Pack Mule, very important when you can pick loot 2 items instead of 1. Conduit is always good because you get 5 seconds of stamina. Frontiersman, you get extra medikit and chokes. Serpent is very good to have actually as well. Lightfoot is good, even though it's probably more stronger as a solo, because when you're in a trio, people will normally hear you more than if you're solo. If you're solo, you can sneak around more. But Lightfoot nevertheless is still strong even in a team. Silent Killer as well, same as Lightfoot. And Resilience is also strong in a team, because if you get revive of the teammate, you get more health when you stand up after the revive. So yeah, I see now here that maybe I will put them in a little bit different order. For example, Necromancer maybe before Determination, maybe Frontiers was before Conduit, but still, yeah, more or less this order. And actually, I think what you see here is basically all the traits that I think that you need. So the last slot, you can pick whatever you want. For example, Bulwark if you want to reduce the explosion. You can have Vulture if you want to loot some more stuff. And but still, I think the first 14 traits there are the important ones. So there you have it. These are the order of priority that I picked the traits for team, and the other picture that I showed was for the same but for solo. All right, have a good hunting.